Hey everybody, it's Deborah. Welcome to my Thursday show. Great to see you here on Facebook or on YouTube. And so many important things I want to talk to you about today. There's some really important things going on in the world, and we, as meditators and as people who are conscious, we want to help come that change we want to see. So whatever it is you're zeroing in on, I really urge you to take a little bit of action. So the first thing that I want to address today is the opioid crisis, and I'm sure you've heard about it, right? It's worst in the center of the United States and in the heartland, probably worse there than it is on the east and west coasts. But it's extreme. If you haven't read my blog that I posted to Psychology Today, you'll find it on Facebook and you'll find it on my website, all about struggling with addiction. I want you to really think with great sympathy and empathy of these poor people. There are 145 people dying a day now from opioids. 145 people a day just in the US. That's a huge number. And we need to do something about it. Our esteemed leader actually may have stumbled on a decent idea when he was talking about advertising, because in fact, one of the main problems with this crisis is the fact that we allow drug companies to advertise. You know, we're one of the very few countries in the world that permits that. A civilized country, it's unheard of. And there are only a few, and we're amongst them. And you know, you're inundated, aren't you, with drug ads, just absolutely swamped with them from the moment you get up to the moment you go to bed. So no wonder that so many people have been given a prescription for a pain pill, and the next thing they know, they're hooked. And you know, they're people like the friend of yours that had a C-section, or the doctor you saw in the emergency room that had her wisdom teeth removed. It can be such a simple thing. It can be a teenager who stumbles on a few pills left over from his dad's backache. That's what happened to a relative of mine, and he spent 10 years now, from the age of 17 to 27, trying to get free of it. It's a horrible thing that completely ruins someone's life. So, you know, what can we do? Ads that educate, that could really help, really, and instead of ads that sell pharmaceuticals. So, you know, write to your congressman. I was looking around yesterday online, and I discovered that there's some wonderful sites I can just drop my credit card in real quick for something as small as $3 or $5, and I can become part of a solution. I can get behind a concept that I'm in favor of. I urge you to do that too. There are also opportunities for signing up for changing laws. You know, you can get on the bandwagon on that kind of thing too. So if we had an advertising campaign back to opioids that was educational, it could really help. And then if we could remove these direct-to-consumer ads, that too could help. We in the U.S., and I know I have a lot of people watching right now who are abroad and in other parts of the world, but here in the U.S., we're using up 1/3 of the opioids produced, but we're only 5% of the world's population. So think about that. This is horrific. This is killing our population, absolutely killing us. So be the change that you want to see here. Help make this problem diminish, help make this problem go away. Take whatever action you can take with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community, your Facebook page. You know, be strong and be heard on this topic. You know, it's all about marketing, isn't it? And the media is really getting us from every direction in many ways. So stand up, be counted, make some noise. Okay, that's number one. And then, and that's a blog you can read over on my site, deborahking.com, as well as right here on Facebook. Then this morning, I was very, very triggered would be the right word, by an op-ed piece in the New York Times by Diane Nyad, the swimmer. You remember the Olympic swimmer, you know, she's about 68 years old now, and she has written the most moving piece about her experience of sexual assault at the hands of her coach. Isn't this disgusting? And isn't it common? And isn't it just every day now? We're reading about it somewhere. So I urge you to read it and get as triggered as I did. If you know me, you know I wrote a book called Truth Heals, all about the sexual assault I suffered as a child. Very similar to Diane Nyad's. And she mentions, and this happens to me so frequently, that whenever she goes somewhere to speak, women come up to her. Occasionally it's a man, but it's usually a woman who comes up to me and whispers in my ear that she had the same thing happen to her that happened to me. She can't even put words to it. It's such a shameful thought. And of course, she blames herself. It's always the case, right? We children, we blame ourselves for these despicable things that are done to us. So, you know, I urge you to read Diana's piece. It's in the New York Times. I posted it to my Facebook page this morning, so you can click on it there. Or I also tweeted it, so, you know, try to catch it. It's a remarkable personal piece where she spares no details, and you will be shocked. If you were assaulted like I was, you will be triggered, I promise you. So I'd like for you to take time to consider that. And then I no sooner recovered from reading that piece, and I read another one. It's by, see if I can find it here. I thought I printed it out. Yeah, it's called Brave Enough to Be Angry. Oh my God. By the time I read both of these pieces this morning at 5 a.m., to say I was fired up would be an understatement. So this is by a woman named Lindy West, another op-ed opinion piece in the New York Times, which is one of the finest pieces of journalism you can read every week. You know, you should be getting, you should be sure you're receiving an email notification every morning about what's up in the New York Times, so that you can skim the topics and read some good journalism. Washington Post is another great place to find out what's going on. Not slanted, you know, well thought out, well researched, well vetted pieces. So Lindy West's piece, Brave Enough to Be Angry, I urge you to go read it. I tweeted it, so if you go to my Twitter account, you'll find it. And she starts off by quoting Uma Thurman, the actress, who when questioned by Access Hollywood recently in an interview about her thoughts and her feelings, her answer was, "I'm so upset, I'm so angry, I better say nothing." I've always been very impressed with Uma Thurman. I think she's pretty powerful. So she's seething, of course, as are hopefully every woman on the planet. And it rang such a bell for me. I want to read it to you, just one paragraph out of it. It just completely blew me away. She says, like every other feminist with a public platform, like myself, I am perpetually cast as a disapproving scold. But what's the alternative to approve? The writer says, I do not approve. And she goes on to say, not only are women expected to weather sexual violence, intimate partner violence, workplace discrimination, institutional subordination, the expectation they are free domestic labor, the blame for our own victimization, and all the subtler, invisible cuts that undermine women daily. But women are not even allowed to be angry about it. Just close your eyes and think of America. We are expected to keep quiet about the men who prey upon us, as though their predation was our choice, not theirs. We're expected to sit quietly as men debate whether or not the state should be allowed to forcefully use our bodies as incubators. We are expected to not complain as we are diminished, degraded, and discredited. We are expected to agree, and we comply with the paternal admonition that it is irresponsible and hyper-emotional to request a female president after 240 years of male ones, because that would be tokenism. It would be anti-democratic and dangerous, as though generations of white male politicians hasn't proven themselves utterly disinterested in caring for the needs of communities. to which they do not belong. As though white men's monopolistic death grip on power in America doesn't belie precisely the kind of identity politics they claim to abhor. As though competent, qualified women are so thin on the ground that even a concerted, sincere, large-scale search for one would be a long shot, and the compromise of the resulting candidate would be a compromise. And meanwhile, as a reminder of the bar for male competence, we have the white president. So it's a pretty good article. I urge you to catch it. Again, Lindy West has written this astonishing piece in this morning's New York Times in the opinion section. So it's pretty clear that I come out strongly for women. I come out strongly for those who've been abused. I'm very much a woman who stands up for those who've been marginalized, any group. And I urge you to find out what you really believe in. What do you stand for? And make it a theme of your life. Stand up, be counted. It's so important that we all do so. All right, now that I got everybody all fired up, let's take some callers and see what's going on. So I see some notes over here on the side where Laura Wilson, for example, says, yes, the New York Times and Washington Post remain so professional. It is amazing journalism. And thanks, you guys, for the compliments I see here about my book. It's Heal Yourself, Heal the World. It's been out now, I guess, just a little shy of a month, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. So I will head over to our question room. Again, to join me here, you have to come in on Crowdcast for me to be able to work with you up here on the panel. And Karina has a question about a groin discomfort. So Karina, can I invite you up here on the screen? Be great if you could join me. And another, looks like Karina has several questions to ask. So Karina, we'll see if you're able to join me. And another caller is Parisa, but Parisa, I'm not seeing where your camera's connected, so you might take a moment and try to do that. Okay, Karina.
Hello, hi Deborah.
Hello, let me turn you up. I'm not hearing you. There you go. All right, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Tell me your city.
Pretoria, South Africa.
Pretoria, all right. How can I help you?
There's one thing that is bothering me. It's about, I think, 5 years. And the doctors couldn't really identify anything.
Come a little closer to your mic. I'm not hearing you as clearly as I'd like to.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you. Okay, tell me about your doctor.
I've been to different doctors. They could not identify anything through blood tests or through ultrasounds.
And what are your symptoms?
It's not really a pain. It's a discomfort on the right side in the groin.
Have you had an ultrasound of your ovaries?
Yes, many.
And that was all fine?
They couldn't see anything, yes.
And you've had children?
Yes, actually it was after my third child, the third birth.
Childbirth, and it was a natural childbirth?
Yes, all natural.
Not a C-section?
No.
No C-sections for you?
No.
Uh-huh. And how long ago was this sensation started to come?
It started about 5 years ago, and what was my deduction? It was that it started to appear when I started to use my laptop on my lap. Like the heat from the laptop, in my opinion, it started to trigger it. And then
the what from the left?
The heat from the laptop.
Oh, the heat from the laptop?
Yes, which I started to use on my lap. I was using it, yes, for good years on my lap.
Uh-huh. But you don't do that anymore, right?
I'm trying to push it away from my lap, but I'm still...
Well, can't you put it on a table?
Yes, I can, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. I use mine in my lap if I'm,
But
traveling in a car
I
or a
have this
plane.
pain, like it started to be like anytime. Sometimes I could relate it to the menstrual cycle, but sometimes it will be some days it's all
At
the
different
time,
time
every
of the
minute.
month. And does it come and go then? It's not chronic.
Yes, I feel it. It can be away for a few days. It will come back. I'll feel it some days, every day, all day long. So it doesn't really have a pattern. And I really thought maybe a MRI will help me, but it's just very expensive.
You haven't had an MRI.
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Have you, and you're in South Africa, so no cranial osteopaths there, I bet, huh?
I can look. Might be.
So in the US, osteopaths are treated like MDs in terms of their licensing, but the kind I'm telling you about is a much rarer kind, very like 1% of osteopaths are called cranial osteopaths that are certified with some additional training that's hands-on, that's manual. I think what happened was, I think you might have pulled a muscle in childbirth.
Okay.
Has anyone suggested that to you? That it's a muscle?
I've been to a physiotherapist, which they're checking for things like that, and they said from their side they can't feel anything like that.
Well, they can't though, because it's deeply internal. We're talking about muscles that are very, very, very internal and would not be discerned from the outside, nor would they be shown on an MRI. So let me just give you some feedback. I think it's muscular. I think you're real worried about it though. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, your constitution, you're very vata. That's the Ayurvedic nature to be air-like and extremely worried and nervous kind of a disposition. So I think you've put some focus on this because I think you're concerned something's wrong. And I think it's something pretty simple like a muscle that's strained.
Okay.
And that simple things like your digestion and daily internal activity inside your body, I think can trigger this. As could, a small cramp, or think of all the things that could go on in the groin. That make sense?
Sort of.
An internist, a physician who...
I did see a physician as well, but it didn't help.
And they saw nothing, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, they couldn't find anything.
Yeah, and they should also tell you that after 5 years,
at some point they found an enlarged lymph node, and then the second time I did the ultrasound, it was not enlarged anymore. So.
Well, because lymph nodes enlarge and then go back to normal all the time. You look healthy. And a physician should tell you that after 5 years of no development of this, that it must be something benign and not harmful.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to reassure you about that. I'm not picking up on anything here.
That makes me feel much better.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you should go out and have some fun. I'm glad you called in.
Me too, yes.
Very nice to see you.
Very nice to see you too, Deborah.
Okay, and our next caller is Deepal. Deepal, can you join me? I see you have a question. And so does Rahul. A couple people here. We'll see who can come join me. It's great to be with you guys, and it's so much I so prefer this new show method now for about the last 6 months, where I can see you, because I can go much deeper in helping you when I can see you. I really can. So I invited a couple people up, and here comes somebody. Rahul, how are you?
A bit apprehensive, actually.
Oh, well, don't be.
I've
Tell me your question. Well, first of all, tell me what city you're in.
I'm in Leicester, England.
You're in the UK.
Yes, yeah.
And which part?
Leicester.
And where is Leicester? North or south of London?
It's higher than London.
Okay. All right. How can I help you?
Okay. I was apprehensive about speaking, but since I got your email, you're talking about addictions. I thought this would be my opportunity to speak to you about it.
Wonderful. You bet.
Basically, I have this bulimia. I've had it for a while, and I also have really bad constipation right now. Like for 3 months, I'm hardly eliminating. And what's it called? And I have bulimia. I'm vomiting like almost every day. And for 9 years or so, I've had some kind of food issue, not related to my image, but more to. And I do a lot of meditation, in fact.
Well, wait a second. You were going to tell us what you thought the eating disorder was related to. I didn't catch the cause. What your thinking is on it for yourself.
At first, I thought. At first, I was doing it because of constipation, and then it's become a dissociation with my body. I eat because it's distraction. And it's comforting, and I don't really want to eat. I know a lot of people that don't eat, and I know a person that he's called Wim Hof, who's trained himself for 30 years to eat 1 meal a day, and he runs marathons in ice and things like that.
I know who he is. He's totally insane.
yeah, exactly.
He's rather unique. I don't think you want to try to be him.
No, I'm just saying that I have a because I'm just saying there's wonderful techniques and things, and the thing is, I feel so dissociated from my own body. It's
well, really... let me tell you why you feel so disassociated. It's from the very practices you're engaging in. Unfortunately, there's a chicken and egg thing here. So the bulimia and your whole thinking around food takes you out of your body and makes you disconnected from Mother Earth. So you don't even feel like you're here, Rahul. Have you gotten some help from social services? Because this is so serious for you, for your health.
I know. I've had, I've got my veins are popping out, and I've got like
I bet. Don't they have, I mean, we keep being told what wonderful medical you guys have in the UK. Can't you get some help?
It isn't actually that good. It's not even the NHS, and it's not very good. The best thing I came across was this book called Brain Over Binge. It's by Catherine Hansen, and yeah, that was quite good for me, I suppose. It's just that I disagree with the eating adequately part. I kind of want to just trust myself in a deep way, because.
Well, I'm fine with that, but what I want you to have is some outside help, and I want it like yesterday. So what about a 12-step program? Is there a group you can join? People who suffer from the same kind of a malady?
But the thing is, it's like, it's become food is a distraction for me. As I'm eating, I'm almost going on the internet and reading about other spiritual topics, and the whole process of eating for taste and not for, because otherwise, because of this constipation, I wouldn't be eating at all. I'd rather.
You have an actual a medical disorder, Rahul. I want to sympathize with you, but also tell you how serious it is. This isn't something I would treat lightly. you're a young, healthy man, but you can't do this to your body. It will ultimately, you know, kind of blow up on you. So I really want to urge you to get some outside help from, first of all, I joined a group. I mean, I was a terrible addict, and the way I deal with my addictions was I went to in my case, I went to AA. I could have gone to, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous. I could have just as well gone to NA. I would have been just as fit in just as well, but it was convenient. So you really need to get with a group of people where every day you're seeing them and they're supporting you in your recovery and you're supporting them in theirs. This is critical to your recovery. Critical.
I don't.
You feel like you're not around other people very much. Is that the case?
Yeah, totally. I'm just by myself all the time.
By yourself. Yeah, no, we got to help you switch out of this.
So the thing is, AA is like good thing about Brain Over Binge when I was doing it. It was it was very simple, and it didn't kind of rely on any externalities. It didn't rely on any divine guidance or things like that. And where the AA is like, I know my uncle. He feels he's gone back into alcoholism after 50 or something years.
Oh, how sad.
And he thinks the only people that are actually real in life are alcoholics. He says they're the only people that he can talk to openly. And I understand what you mean, get out and speak to people, but I don't want to be defined by an illness with other people. I don't like that kind of.
But you are currently defining yourself that way. That's how you introduced yourself to me just now. And what I'd like to do, if it's all right with you, is work with you a little bit. Would that be okay?
Yeah, but I only said that to get the attention to.
You got it.
Yeah, because
I'm awake.
If I said I'm a guy,
I would like to work with you, and that's all right, right now.
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to say is, thanks as well for your course for the Modern Masters, because actually what happened with me is I was doing transcendental meditation for quite a long time. And my brother's been doing transcendental meditation, and he did a city program from the TM place. And at one point I was so suicidally in a bad place. 2009, he came in my room and basically told me all the cities. He told me he was going to tell me it all. And me doing the cities, I kind of improved. I don't know if that was because the time I was not eating when I was doing the cities, and I did it quite intensely, and I had a good feeling.
Let me just interrupt you just for a second, because what I really want to do while we have a moment here is I want to actually work with you. Oops. Let's see if I just walked off screen for a moment. Let's see if we can get him back. Well, let's wait for a moment. Hopefully Raul will come back, because I would love to work with him. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for his return, I want to tell everyone how important it is that we don't try to do these things by ourselves. When it comes to addiction, you must have support. You must. Don't try to conquer your addiction by yourself. For one thing, we don't conquer addictions. We adapt to them. We live with them. We take it one day at a time. We admit that it's a serious problem. It's a medical issue, and we're constantly vigilant. And we know that abstinence works really well. It's the only thing that works. It's the only thing that works. So I hope that that Raul can come back so that we can help him further. I really want him to have. Ideally, he would have a group that he attends every day. He would have a counselor or a physician working with him, because these are significant matters. And he's got such promise. He's got such a huge spiritual base. All right, who's next? How about Parisa? I would love to call on you with your question. You have such a great question. I just need for you to probably come in through Crowdcast, because I don't see a camera I can click on. How about Suzanne? Suzanne, maybe you can come join me. And how about Natasha? Okay. Just waiting for someone to join me here. I love working with you guys. Lots of questions today, lots of questions.
Hi,
So
Deborah.
here comes someone. Hi, who do we have here? Suzanne.
Suzanne,
Hi,
that's
Suzanne,
me.
you're first. Oh, look, we can get 4 and we didn't even know it. How can I help you, Suzanne? First off, what city are you in?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Okay, how can I help you?
Well, I've been feeling some activation in my chakras, and I'm wondering if it's not a result of some of the headlines that we've read and what we've talked about today.
What kind of activation?
Well, a buzzing in my base chakra and a really big expansion in my heart chakra, but not much connection between the two.
That's okay. First and fourth aren't terribly connected, but you feel pretty knowledgeable and you look pretty grounded. So buzzing doesn't feel like it's culturally related. It feels like you are awakening more to yourself and to higher chakras, actually.
Good.
So it all feels good. I don't discern any problems, Suzanne.
Good.
Yeah. Great to see you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Deepal, where are you?
Hi.
Hi. What city are you in?
I'm in Mooresville, North Carolina.
Okay. And what's your question?
So I've been doing the Modern Master class and I'm in level 1. And I wanted to
for you.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to do level 4, but I think I missed the deadline, so maybe next year.
Next year.
Yeah, and so I was kind of wondering where you feel I am on my spiritual journey. And I do work as a healer full time, and I'm trying to grow my medical intuition, my abilities, so that I could help my clients, because most of them are coming to me with medical issues. So I guess sometimes I feel stuck.
You're still in level 1. Is that where you said you were?
Yeah, but I've done so many other modalities.
You have. I can feel it. And you feel gifted and you feel somewhat trained. I would love for you to have more training. You're very clear. That's a key thing I'm noticing. So my class where I work with individual students, my level 4 would be perfect for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I've been dealing with rosacea. Like I've been trying to get it under control, doing all the right things, and I just cannot seem to get it under control. It starts to activate right around my menstrual cycle. And I've had all my lab tests done. Nothing is coming out. Everything's good with my immune system, my thyroid. Every single test have been done. And so I don't know what else I can do to cure this, because you could probably see how it acts up, and it's right around the cheeks.
Is it seasonal or cyclic?
Cyclic.
And tell me about your diet.
I mean, I eat all veggies and smoothies, and I mean, it's a pretty healthy diet. I follow the Pitta diet because I am very...
Well, and that's what the condition is. It's a Pitta derangement. I'm using the word derangement technically. I don't mean you're deranged.
No, I know.
Yeah, no, it's an overheating condition. I can feel it in you. And it's going to improve with age. That's not much consolation at the moment. Because I don't mean next year, but you're going to find it declines as you get older.
Good, because I mean, they put me, well, I decided to do a homeopathic remedy because I didn't want to keep doing antibiotics, you know, and then putting all this other stuff on my face that's prescription medicine. So I'm doing a homeopathic remedy, but I don't know if it's, and of course, homeopathy takes time. So I'm just trying to be patient, but I don't know if it's resonating with me or not, or making things worse.
It doesn't feel like homeopathy is quite the solution for you. I'm picking up on another avenue. There's an herb out there for you. And you're in what state?
North Carolina?
Mm-hmm. Can I give this some reflection? I feel there's an herb. And
That would be great.
I have to meditate on it.
Okay. Thank you.
What's the first initial of your last name? Just
S?
S. Okay. S is in Sam.
Yeah.
Got it. Let me make a note here.
Yeah. By the way, I'll see you in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
I'm so excited.
I'm just making a note. Well, that'll be a lot of fun. We'll definitely do
It will.
something there. Yes, that's great because I can sense you're ready actually for another change.
Okay.
So excellent. All right.
Thank you.
Great that you could come today. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And everybody who's watching, and I don't want to blow up Deepal, but just look at the light. You'll see the light around her face. So it's not too hard, is it, to see where people are? It's much yeah, it's much easier than people think. Hi, what's your name?
Hello.
Yes, what's your name?
Natasha. I'm in Dallas.
Natasha.
Yes.
Well, how great to see you. Tell
Yes.
me your question, Natasha.
Well, basically, I'm dealing with a lot of issue with my stomach, and then I got a sprained ankle. It seems like there's, I feel like I'm blocked, like I'm not being able to move forward. My career is at a halt as well, and
What is your career?
I'm a filmmaker.
A filmmaker, So like the gal just before you, you're full of fire. You got that pitta, that fire element, very strong in you.
That's
So you
right.
can see it in Natasha's coloring,
Yeah.
even the shape of her face. I mean, everything about her is screaming pitta. And
Oh.
that fits perfectly with your dharma, your career.
Yes.
Yeah, because those things go together.
Mm.
All that fire will get your project out to the world.
Yes.
The block is because your 6th and 7th chakras aren't quite open.
Okay. 6 and 7.
Here, they're closed here.
Oh, I feel it tickling.
You meditate?
I do not regularly enough. I did the Modern Masters with the Mind Valley a while back.
Can I send you back to do that every day?
Yes.
Even if it's just 20 minutes every morning, even if it's just your basic meditation that I taught at Modern Master.
Yes.
I gave you a mantra. Do
Yes.
that every morning for 20 minutes and your project will take off. You won't feel blocked. It will definitely improve your health too, of course.
Yeah. Well, I
And
did it pretty regularly, and it didn't help.
It does though. It completely retrains the brain.
Okay.
It's subtle, but definitely it's happening.
Okay.
So then when you fall off of it, everything kind of unravels. I need to help you get back to that.
Okay. Okay.
And what was the health issue?
It's my stomach. I get bloated. Whatever I eat, I stop eating dairy, gluten. But
And
now,
you have stopped dairy, right?
yes.
Dairy's a no for you.
Yeah.
Gluten's a no.
Yeah.
And
stopped.
I would be careful with high pitta foods like tomatoes and vinegar. I'd be really careful with that.
Yeah.
I know it sounds restrictive, but here's what's going on.
Yeah.
We as a species on this planet, we've done everything wrong. I mean, we all know that, right? And so consequently, we're finding it hard to survive here. It isn't like the old days where we could eat what we wanted. So, we get past about the age of 25 or 30 and we all have to start to get super careful because the planet is so stressed. So our physiology is very stressed.
Yeah.
Sad, but true. So in your case, you've already identified dairy and gluten. But I want to encourage you to be really careful with the pitta foods that are not recommended for pittas.
Okay.
That would be the whole tomato potato family.
Mm,
Tomato, potato, bell pepper,
yeah.
eggplant,
Yes. Yeah.
and watch out for vinegar. I keep seeing vinegar with the
Apple
sign of
cider vinegar?
you. Vinegar.
What about apple cider vinegar?
No, worse.
Really? That's
Yes. Are you drinking it?
yeah, that's the only thing that's been helping, actually.
It's making you way too acidic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's skewing your balance.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Because I've been told that maybe I don't have enough acidity to process the food.
This is a different kind, so you don't want to be imbibing it for sure.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Huh. That's
Funny.
interesting.
I think that could be the problem actually with your stomach.
Well, it's a recent thing I tried, and it's been helpful. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then go back to your meditation. Even again, 20 minutes once a day would just be terrific for you. And all this talent you have that is just dying to mature into projects.
Yes.
Yes. Help save the world, Natasha. You're meant to. You're meant to be a leader and a teacher through your filmography.
Okay. So you see that as well.
Oh, totally. Yes.
Okay. I've always felt that.
You have an amazing gift.
Why isn't it happening? I'm here for a mission.
Well, get those upper chakras open.
Okay.
And allow spirit to just flow through you, and it will be your inspiration.
Okay.
Yes, and you have a lot of native talent.
Okay.
All right. Great seeing you. Glad you came by.
Yes. Do you see like a timeline when it would?
Oh, I'm not good with timelines. Most of us are not. And when people give you timelines, I would wonder. I would, if they're being authentic or not. Spirit doesn't do time very well because spirit doesn't have a timeline.
Yeah.
And spirit's on a whole nother kind of a cycle.
Okay.
And they think our human ideas of time are quite amusing.
Yes. Of
We
course.
want things to happen next month, at least next year.
Yeah.
And they don't operate that way.
And could it be stress related, the stomach issue?
Yeah, but the apple cider vinegar is not helping.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
All right. Really glad you came by.
Thank
Come
you.
back again. Yeah, great to have you.
Thank you.
And who's our next? Sally Francis. Hi there. How can I help you?
Hi.
Hi. What city are you in, Sally?
I'm in near Hampton Court Palace, just outside London, about 20 minutes outside London.
Great. All right. How can I help you?
I did actually speak to you, so thank you for speaking to you again today. You said I was suffering from grief, which I can really resonate. I've had like lung problems, a lot of grief. I've downloaded your meditations now, so I've started doing that. Even this week, actually, some things have happened that have kind of shifted. So that's been great, been wonderful. But I'm actually under a doctor. I went to consultant today. I was having great trouble breathing, and it did feel like grief. But I mentioned about my son who had been very depressed, and I, had to kind of care for him.
How old?
He's 29. He went through, a really bad patch. I brought my children up on my own for 10 years.
Is he working?
He is now. But but basically his father hit me. I'm 59, nearly 60 now. When I was 46, I was teaching 2 children, married, and then suddenly his father was kind of going through some stuff. He hit me so hard I thought I would die at that point. My life changed in a moment.
Did the children see that?
No, but they did. They felt. I'm sure they felt it all.
Oh, You're still with your husband?
No. I would have tried to have kept it all going. Yeah, and so the grief is kind of around all that. So I brought the children up on my own for 10 years.
Did they see their dad?
I made sure that they were still connected to him, because I felt down the line that would go against everything. So I thought, no. But he was abusive to me. He was backing the car at me. All kinds of stuff was going on at this time. So it it was hard.
Bad time.
And I had no support with it either. I had a family who loved him, and I mean, I loved him too. So it was a pretty hard time.
Well, what's going on right now for you, Sally?
Yeah, there's still this grief. I'm still this connect. I'm a sensitive. I'm very psychic too, but there's this disconnect. My son's been now working for like 3 years.
Does he live with you?
No, he's living in London. Yeah, my pain is I see my daughter. My daughter's the physiotherapist, doing really, really well. But deep down, I just want peace around it all. But so he ended up going to live with my brothers, but my brothers have been quite vicious to me too. So there's
here's what I'm sensing. What I would suggest to you: you feel a little bit too courted to your son and other members of your family.
Yeah.
And I would love for you to be more independent, actually, and to allow them to be more independent. This would be very healthy for you.
Okay.
Are you working?
Yeah. Well, I was because I basically was coughing up blood about 6 weeks ago. I was working, actually doing a lot of coaching work and a lot of kind of healing work as well. But I've had this like acid reflux, or I don't know whether I've had an ulcer or something.
Have you gone to have that checked?
Yeah, I've gone and seen a gastro person.
And what did they tell you? What was the diagnosis?
Well, they haven't actually said. They wanted me to go and have the tube put down and have that done. But I've been given an acid.
I think you should. I think you should follow up with that examination. But I would really encourage you to develop interests of yours and pull back a little bit from your son and other members of your family so that you're focused on your own life, not theirs.
I mean, I have been. I mean, I really have been. Yeah, I think I've been worried about this. I've been given a reflux medication, so I think I haven't had any more bleeding recently. So I don't know whether I've had an ulcer.
Have you been told to raise your bed a little bit, the head of your bed?
I've heard about that. Yes, all right.
You should
do that.
And anyone who's listening who thinks they have acid reflux issues, this is such a simple thing to do. You just get a couple little blocks of wood, a couple inches is plenty, and just very slightly raise the head of your bed, and this will save you a lot of grief if indeed you are dealing with acid reflux, which is so common.
Okay.
I recommend that to you, Sally.
Sorry?
I recommend that to you.
Okay, I will do that. I will do that. They've given me a medication.
Let me tell you one other thing I'm noticing. You're a little bit sun deprived. How much sun did you get this summer?
Not a huge deal, no.
And you're now going into the season where you don't get any. So how about investing in a light box? Very inexpensive. Get one online. Get someone to help you install it. And this would really help you because you're a little bit low in vitamin D and some things the sun gives you that make you feel cheerful and happy. You're a little bit low there for November.
Okay, I'll do that. The consultant put me on the reflux medication.
Might be a great thing to do for a while.
But do you think there's anything untoward? Do you think I ought to go and have the whole test?
I think you should. You feel very worried about it. I think it'd be a great idea.
Do you think there is anything I need to worry about that I need to go and have?
I'm not picking anything up, but I think that you've had a significant symptom. I think you should get it checked out.
Okay. All right.
Completely.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
You know, I mean, when they're putting you on reflux medication, it's usually because that's what you have. So.
Yeah, reflux.
Yeah, you and half the world.
Yeah.
It's very, very common, and it's very pitta, by the way, for all of you who look like Sally. And the last two callers we had were very full of fire, and fire people are very inclined to this condition when they hit about 40. Sort of creeps up on you. So remember to take care not to eat pitta-provoking foods. That's the nightshade family I was talking about a minute ago. Nightshades are potato, tomato, eggplant, and the peppers are the nightshade family, and they're very provoking for people who are very pitta. And pitta people, we have just a few minutes left here. Pitta people should also avoid getting, too hot, too angry. You shouldn't be out. What's the saying about the Englishman and the mad day and out in the midday sun? They shouldn't be out when it's super hot or super hot water or anything that would really provoke that kind of a heat reaction.
Right.
All right.
It's really, as I'm talking, it's really come on now. Oh.
Well, sure. Yeah, because we're focused on it. All right. Very nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Is there anything I can do mentally just to take that down?
Yeah, meditate, always.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Deborah Lawson, where are you from? Where are you now?
Hi,
Hi.
Kingston, Washington. How are you doing?
Good, great.
Taking your courses.
Wonderful. How can I help
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Two quick questions. One, does spirit ever hold back on you for your own good? And the reason why I ask is recently I've connected with some spiritual leaders, and the questions that I got, they came back with nothing. It was like they were holding back on me. It was really interesting. And the second question, I'm just going to throw this out there because I think they're related, is my brother. I'm an organ donor for my brother, trying to be anyways, and I'm getting tested, and the tests keep coming back not right, but not because of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not because of me, not because something's wrong with me. And they say I'm compatible, but the tests keep coming back wrong. Like something's going wrong in the lab. And I'm like, wow, like I really start to pay attention to these signs after 2 and 3 and 4 times.
Right. What organ are you trying to donate?
Kidney.
And
Kidney.
Does he have just one working kidney?
Exactly.
He lost a kidney?
Mm-hmm. And he's already had a transplant. So.
And it wasn't successful?
It was successful. The other kidney shriveled up though. So that's why he only has the one.
So he has a transplanted kidney that is working fine.
No.
Oh.
No, that's the one that I will hopefully be replacing.
Oh.
And his other kidney shriveled up. It's gone.
Due to a disease, or what happened?
Absolutely. It's called Williams syndrome.
Yes.
Which, yeah.
Well, tell our audience, give them a little primer on it.
Williams syndrome is almost is kind of the opposite of Down syndrome. It's like a 45-year-old in a 7-year-old mind and 80-year-old body. So his body is getting older and older and older, but he's amazingly friendly and happy and musical. He's amazing.
How old is he?
He is 46.
Aren't you good to be so helpful?
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I'm trying, right? I'm trying. So that was part of the question that I had asked when I had went to a event with Swamiji, and the other part of it was my spiritual gifts. I feel like something's trying to pop through, but I just don't know what. And I asked about my healing gifts, and they said nothing, like literally said nothing, like not at this time, nothing.
I actually think that was correct. I think it's not meant at this time.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I just feel so pulled, and I work on it every day.
Work on
it's
it.
Interesting.
To get ready. Absolutely.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to happen today.
Because of everything that's happening.
It has something to do with your brother.
Okay.
There's some delay or time period that is to come before.
Well, that's why I felt pulled to ask you both questions at the same time, because I just feel everything's interconnected.
They're related, and you're very attuned. You are an old soul. You're on a threshold of some kind, and I'm being told to kind of back off. So
see, it's Yeah. See, and I even felt that it's been a couple months since I've been on our calls. I'm so sorry. But I felt that you were holding back last time we talked, but you didn't come right out.
I'm not holding back.
But
I'm being told.
Not you. Not you.
I'm being told.
But yeah. Yeah. But that didn't come through. Like I was just, and finally it was like nothing. Like those were the words with all questions. I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
Keep coming and keep us posted, because something's going to develop with your brother, and I think that's going to be where the movement happens. And then I believe a door will open for you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Absolutely.
Very nice.
Thank you for nothing.
Yeah. Good to see you. Thanks for nothing. Bye. All right. Hey,
Bye.
guys, being with you today, just a couple things. I do have a workshop coming up in a month in Hawaii. There's still room in that if you want to like jump on board. I will see you here again next week. All right. Until then, take care.